Last lap.
Grosjean behind him on the racetrack. This is heading into turn 8. He's half a tenth for the good on his teammate.
The man who calls Florida home now, the Swiss-born Frenchman. Maybe if he can put it on the pole here.
That's a nice gap with only one corner to go. Here we go into turn 10. He's trending in the right direction. The number 28 DHL Honda for Andretti Autosport. 4/10 now to the good.
Look at this, Romain Grosjean. Does he go to the top? You betcha he does.
Nice job, buddy. Nice job. P1 right now. Come on, come on, come on. Good, buddy. Nice job. Is that it? Is that it? That's it. P1, pole position. You have to stay in the car. Stay in the car. P1. You got to stay in the car.
And look at that time gap.
On a clean racetrack, straight up battle. Grosjean 4/10. That's faster.
All the pressure on this race team in the offseason, folks saying that Romain needed to deliver, and he has done it here in St. Pete. A pole position right off the bat. A lot of people saying, hey, this team, this driver needs to deliver this year. Is this the first answer to all the doubters in the offseason?
Yeah, I think I knew last year that something was just not coming my way, and we worked hard. In Nashville, we found something. Iowa, we found something. Laguna, we found something, and
Romain Grosjean on the pole. And you know what happened in this race last year, Diff? Pole winner won the event.
There's something special about race cars by the water. A season opener by the bay here in St. Petersburg, Florida, just feels right. Round 1 of 17. This is the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. This is going to be a tough test.
All right, everybody, we are 1 minute to the command. Let's listen for it on the PA. 1 minute.
Been a good weekend so far. Let's finish strong.
And for Romain Grosjean, coming from a world of Formula One, Florida is now his home. His wife, Marion, and their 3 kids are here. But now it's time to see if Grosjean can win his first IndyCar race. His Andretti Autosport teammate is alongside. It's ready to go for a new racing season here in St. Peter. Grosjean launches.
Grosjean with a great jump. That's what you want. Try to get clear of all those animals coming from behind, and it's Otto Award firing up the inside. I think that's Rosenquist. Felix Rosenquist with more damage in the back. The track is total chaos.
Full course yellow. It's in 3.
2 of the
It's
4
in 3.
in that crash are rookies. That is huge, and that's what can happen on street course racing.
Just asking you to back it way down. Asking you to back it way down. Just stay in the high-speed lane. Look for the guys to stop you all the way down there.
Listen, the field is packed up with Romain Grosjean in the DHL Honda at the head of the field back in the Indy Lights days. Green flag flies here in St. Pete. Let's try for the second time. Here we go.
Great jump from Romain Grosjean.
Here's something I'm watching. These Andretti cars, Grosjean and Herta. You got to get on the radio here and say, hey, you guys are pulling away. Don't burn up your alternates and get us in trouble early, because lap 10, in about another 10 laps, if you push too hard, they're going to be going backwards.
Townsend, you're higher. That's exactly what they're telling you to do, drivers. Nobody's really done more than about 16 laps on the alternates, so they're hoping to get to 28. They love to get to around 30 or so.
Further back, the car to watch now is McLaughlin. He's the first car on the harder compound primary, so McLaughlin right now is probably just chilling. He's waiting until the cars in front start to fall apart a bit on the softer compound, and that's where we'll see McLaughlin pounce.
So it's Romain Grosjean who's led every lap thus far over his teammate Colton Herta here in St. Pete.
Grosjean and Herta now 6.7 seconds over the Arrow McLaren upon the lap 19 of 100 here, still on those alternates. Let's just ride and listen, because throttle control will tell us a lot on how those rear tires are doing. Well, if Michael Andretti's listening, he should be super encouraged, because his Andretti Autosport team has nailed it.
All right, that's 15 laps complete. As long as you tell me these tires are going to be okay, we'd still like to take this another 15.
And while Romain Grosjean is flying up front,
He is gapping Colton Herta.
Here comes Scotty Mack. This is what we've been waiting to see, that harder compound tire flexing its authority. It is high time for McLaughlin to make quick times and take advantage of this tire situation.
Race leader is in the DHL Honda. What a stint from Romain Grosjean. He's led all 31 laps.
And what was the number Hinch said? Get to lap 32, job done. He went 3 or 4 laps longer than his teammate, but it really did start to drop. He lost 3 seconds on McLaughlin on that last lap. So he gets off the alternate Firestones. He's on the primaries, and the Phoenix flashes away.
This is it.
Pit lane speed limiter off for the yellow and red DHL Honda, nicely ahead, but he's on cold tires.
Scott McLaughlin winds up leading 3 laps in that sequence, Townsend. I think they thought they could go a little bit further, but they burned a lot of fuel. The alternates going on, as Hinch said, the price being paid now. We'll see both of where these Penske cars cycle out. Look at that.
That's McLaughlin and Romain Grosjean. Grosjean's going to have to go for the move here on the Dex Imaging Chevrolet. He's up to speed as far as his tires. McLaughlin won't let him through.
Oh, Grosjean into the marbles. O'Ward's going to be all over him.
Hot tires versus soft tires. McLaughlin on the alternates, Grosjean on the warm primaries, but now that he's been pushed offline, he will have picked up a bunch of dirt, a bunch of marbles.
Do you think that Scott McLaughlin wants to defend his win from a year ago? You betcha.
There's a caution on the racetrack. This will give Dixon a bit of an advantage.
And it will also help McLaughlin, who now is on the softer compound, to have yellow laps to circulate slowly and not burn up that softer compound.
It's a great situation for Scott McLaughlin, obviously, because like we talked about, he'll be out front in clean air on those alternates. He'll be able to take care of them and stretch this stint out. This yellow situation helps the number 3 car, so everything's starting to fall into play for our defending race winner. So here we go. Let's take a look at the NTT pit time differential. Scott McLaughlin versus Romain Grosjean. The Penske crew, 3 seconds to the good. Total of a 3-second swing in favor of the Thirsty Threes and Scott McLaughlin.
What do yellows breed?
Yellows.
Yellows. Great jump, big wiggle from Scott McLaughlin on the power.
All right, here you go. Defending winner wants to win again, but Romain Grosjean in that yellow and red DHL Honda wants to win for the first time.
Big rear wall. Colton Herta. Oh, it is VK. We have a car up and over. Kyle Kirkwood's involved. That looks like Jack Harvey as well. Rinus VK in the tires. Huge accident. Yellow flag is out.
We're ready to go back racing at the end of the 3rd full course caution as we broach halfway of this 100-lap race. Scott McLaughlin in the Dex Imaging Chevy leads the way over Romain Grosjean. There's the green. Let's go. Turn 1 is a key spot at this track.
It's so dirty offline. Dixon was wiggling in a straight line. He thinks better of it there. Single file for now. Great jump from Scott McLaughlin, and that was did exactly what we saw Rinus VK do. Caution is out. Colton Herta's going to try to reverse. He's reversed a little bit, but he's got some banners stuck on the car. Look at the damage to that left front.
Into the second half of this Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Let's go. McLaughlin at the front, flashing through on the backstretch up to turn 10.
Romain Grosjean will very much want to get to the gearbox of Scott McLaughlin, try to force him to use that softer tire up.
That's exactly right, Townsend. That's what he's got to do right now, but we look at the pace that Grosjean had when the situation was reversed. I expect Scott McLaughlin to sort of pull up, open up the gap, and then focus on taking care of those tires.
I think we're on track for the 28 DHL car. Romain Grosjean to start putting some moves potentially on Scott McLaughlin. But this is a surprise, Marty. I wonder if you're hearing anything on the radio, because I thought McLaughlin would open up a real big gap here on this restart with plenty of fuel and softer tires without many laps. If it stays green, the in-lap, the pit stop, the out-lap is going to be so critical between these 2 cars.
Yeah, exactly right. This is now basically a straight-up fight. If Scott can keep Romain behind him for the rest of these few laps that he still needs to run, it's just a straight-up pit stop for it. Team Penske versus Andretti Autosport. Scott McLaughlin versus Romain Grosjean.
And McLaughlin is on defense now, Diff. He's on the button as well as he came to the front straightaway on that long runway. So cat and mouse going on here with push to pass.
Good exit off the last corner, off at 9. Those are the 2 secrets here.
This man who has driven brilliantly today is not known for his patience, but today maybe it's a new Romain Grosjean.
You talk about that pit cycle, Marty, when the Thirsty Threes were 3 seconds faster between the in-lap and the out-lap. But remember, Scott McLaughlin had the better tire for that sequence. Now the advantage is swapped to Romain Grosjean. He's going to have the preferred tire for that in-lap.
If McLaughlin pits here, what does Grosjean do? Does he cover or does he stay out? We're about to find out. You got to bring Scotty Mack, I think, at this point. It's too risky. Stays out.
He's just doing so well. He's keeping them back there.
Who flinches first out of these two guys?
I'm shocked right now, Marty. They're not coming to pit lane. This just seems like an incredible gamble.
And at this point, if Grosjean is being held up, he might have to consider a couple different strategy calls to be made in these very critical moments of this race.
This now adds the further
Here we
risk
go, guys.
that McLaughlin's going to get slowed up potentially by Canapino and Scott Dixon to close. What does McLaughlin do? He stays out. Here comes Grosjean.
Force the 28 crew to blink first. This is fascinating.
Primaries to primaries, another set of Firestones. Romain Grosjean has been second 3 times in IndyCar. Desperately wants that win. He's back out after his last stop of the day.
Romain Grosjean's going to have to get in with. That's Marcus Ericsson, I think, leaving the pit lane as well.
Yeah, but you got Stingray Robb in a wounded race car a lap down in front of Grosjean. Here comes O'Ward, and McLaughlin is in traffic, and watch the gaps. Boy, you better get to pit lane, Scotty Mack, if you want to win this thing.
That was a killer for Scott McLaughlin, being stuck behind that car for the entire lap, but now he is in.
Pressure's on Marty Snyder.
Kyle Moyer told him everything you've got on this lap, ever take everything, just go as quick as you can. But that traffic hinge could be a huge factor for Scott McLaughlin. It's going to be a battle not only between him and Grosjean, but also O'Ward. Let's watch the blitz.
There's Grosjean. Turn 1, look at the yellow car. There's McLaughlin on the right. They're at speed. They may come together. Oh, McLaughlin holds the lead.
But there's no way I think he'll be able to hold them off on cold tires. Grosjean goes to the outside on hot tires and on the preferred line.
Is it possible? No, it's not.
Contact.
Both of them crashing.
And O'Ward goes through. Huddle O'Ward to the front.
Can you believe what you've just seen here in St. Pete? The top 2 in this race are into the tire barrier, neither willing to relinquish that top spot. Oh my goodness.
That is 2 drivers just wanting to win a motor race. That is what happens. Passion gets involved. Look at the disappointment. Both of them having such a strong day. Devastating result.
Think about what Michael Andretti's going through right now. That is now the 4th Andretti Autosport car out of 4 that is out of the running.
I can't believe Michael Andretti's still on the stand. If I was him, I'd be packed up and halfway home. This has just been such a disappointing day.
If an absolute shocker here.
Dead heat coming out of the pits. Advantage to Romain Grosjean on the hot tires. Scott does the right thing to defend all the way down and just goes so late on the brakes. Loses the back end, Townsend. We didn't see that the first time around. Rear lock, fires him into the 28. No fault to Romain Grosjean there, and just look at the frustration.
That was the day that Grosjean was hoping was going to be the day where he could be called an IndyCar race winner. And if neither wanted to give ground, neither wanted to yield.
If Grosjean makes it through that corner, he's winning the race.
Absolutely, absolutely.
With Romain Grosjean, now it was to be his day, starting from pole. What happened?
I think what happened was pretty obvious on TV, so I'm not going to elaborate too much on that. I'm very, very disappointed, and I hope there's going to be rules put in place. We had an amazing weekend. We had a super fast car. The team did a really good job, but I'm really annoyed to be talking to you while the race is going on.
There was mutual admiration between you and Scott last year. What will you say to him now when you get a chance to talk with him?
No, I still admire what he's done. He's come from V8 supercars and has done amazing. Today, I think it's not what we saw on track. He's not racing.